The United States has described China, North Korea and Iran as countries of concern for their involvement in Russia's war economy. A global pariah, Russia has turned its focus on countries in the largest continent to wriggle out of the mountain load of sanctions slapped by the first world countries. Why is Putin taking an Asian pivot? News9 Plus Decodes. Vladimir Putin's decision to invade Ukraine led to Russia being ostracized by the global community. But the military conflict is just a chapter in Putin's long-term goal of confrontation with the West. Once the war started, he had to look at countries with an axe to grind with the West. China, North Korea and Iran are natural military allies for Putin in this global confrontation. That's not all. Putin is also engaging with countries like Vietnam in Southeast Asia and some Central Asian countries for economic cooperation. How is Putin getting support from the axis of outlaws? Russia needs weapons, components and software to sustain the military adventure in Ukraine. This makes it imperative for Putin to deepen his ties with China, North Korea and Iran. North Korea is providing Russia with missiles and ammunitions. Iran is supplying military-grade drones. China is giving Russia dual-use materials like machine tools, satellite imagery and semiconductors. Of course, the relationship is a two-way street, with Russia providing access to its huge oil and gas reserves and industrial-grade products. This military partnership is helping Russia to counter the Western weapons supplied to Ukraine. Putin's visit to North Korea is a clear message to the US and its allies. Are they willing to be directly involved in a confrontation? How is Putin engaging with Asian countries? Putin has a two-pronged approach in Asia: military and economic outreach. Russia will build a nuclear plant in Uzbekistan, the first such critical project in post-Soviet Central Asia. The deal also allows natural gas supply. Russia is heavily invested in the international North-South Transport Corridor, which is a 7,200 km long network of sea routes, roads and railways. It runs from St. Petersburg in Russia through Central and Western Asia to India. He needs to keep the Central Asian countries in good humor to keep the economic corridor alive. In Southeast Asia, Putin is visiting Vietnam to renew the historical ties between the two communist countries. He is expected to sign agreements in the field of trade, investment, technology and education. What is Putin's message to the West? The Russian ruler wants to send out an unequivocal message to US and its allies. Russia cannot be isolated by any means, and the country has strong ties with the global South. He is goading the West to take action, as direct involvement will ensure Putin is seen as a global leader who has taken on the hegemony of the West.